Another homeowner association is mad. All right, well, let's see what they're mad about.
Tony Busby owns the tank, but his homeowners association
The what?
says it has to go. Marcelino Benito spoke with the owner.
Well, Ron, take a look. This is the real deal, an authentic World War II tank right in the middle of River Oaks. Today, I talked to the man who owns it, Tony Busby. He told me he's not too worried about that HOA letter. In fact, he told me he will move his tank only when he is ready to move his tank.
Yeah, it's a fucking tank.
In the heart of River Oaks.
Oh, and you can charge admission out here.
Neighbors.
It's great for America.
Are coming face to face.
Great for America.
With history without ever leaving the neighborhood.
This particular tank landed at Normandy on D+4. Liberated.
How the fuck did he? What?
Paris, and ultimately went all the way to Berlin. This is a piece of American history. But for this type of vehicle, we would not have won the war.
Attorney Tony Busby bought the fully functional World War II tank overseas last year for $600,000.
Fully functional $600,000?
Took a year to get here, and now it's here on River Oaks Boulevard.
And the River Oaks Property Owners Group isn't happy about it.
And it's not violating any ordinance, but for some reason it makes the Homeowners Association board uncomfortable.
They sent Busby this letter saying,
yeah, it's a functioning tank, brother.
It impedes traffic, causes a safety issue, and is causing serious concerns for neighbors.
If you're offended by it, I would tell you lighten up. Just lighten up. I mean, my goodness, it ain't hurting you anyway.
But finding those concerned neighbors wasn't easy.
I wish it was permanent.
Everyone we spoke to loves it.
I think it's an asset.
I fucking love it. Every day I drive by that tank, I thank God I'm an American. I wish we could get some more.
And I think if you watch the cars, everyone slows down and says, wow, that's America.
You saw there was 15 or 20 people here this morning, kids crawling up, people that, you know, what we're all about, what our history's about.
Busby says he's not losing too much sleep over that HOA letter for now.
This dude's just ripping a stove.
He's keeping his new tank right where it is.
I guess they could ticket it. I guess they could try to tow it.
They could try. You can't tow a tank.
But the truth is, until I decide to move it, it ain't going anywhere.
Now, Busby says his tank will actually end up at his East Texas ranch. He tells me he plans to move this tank in about 2 weeks. Standing for Houston, I'm Marcelino Benito, KHOU 11 News.
That was actually such a Giga Chad thing. You have no power to move my tank. You have no fucking power to move my goddamn tank. So I'll move my tank when I'm goddamn good and ready. Baltimore rapper jumps into Inner Harbor for 10 days in a row, says he won't stop until his song goes viral.
Dirtiest water in the country till my song blow up. I'm not even trying to fucking be here right now. I'm sick, so let's go. I don't wanna do nothing but taking it back to the basics. I ain't going back in the basement. It ain't been a day since I left, and I thought about days when I started on a day-to-day basis. Now I gotta make it. This from the nights I was stressing about payments. When I couldn't smile, I faked it to show all my brothers whatever happens. We gon' face it, no flinching and no hesitation. Ooh, we on that ass. Ooh, yo, when it's smoke with us, we gotta roll 'em up, up and pass. Ooh, mama, I'm sorry. You fought too hard for me to not be a soldier and do what I told you I do. Get rich and die trying, cause if I die trying, I know it's real. Ooh, police on my ass. Ooh, push it against. Ooh, I'm out with my guys, see the look in our eyes, see we ready to die. Ooh, we leave out the fight saying ha ha ha, ta da da. They hit the bed with insomnia. Got down the ride like a Yamaha, 12 o'clock, ba 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 ba. All of this shit, that's why they stop calling this shit. That's why I stop calling them friends. But soon as them offers come in, I bet they start calling again. Get back in that coffin again. All of y'all dead to me, Xing out names like it's.
I don't take no shit from anyone.
Yes.
Brother's gonna be diving for a bit.
Crossing the head, y'all don't belong on the sand. Getting money gang over here. It's only the dogs getting fed.
I mean, this is a good story, right? This is a good story, but I'll be honest, it gets better every day. Because day 9, whatever, 9 days jumping into the Baltimore Harbor, that's fine. When he gets to like day 300, that's when this story is really going to hit. 300 days in the Baltimore Harbor, when he has like full-blown dengue fever from jumping in the water, when he brings back bubonic plague, that's when I'll be like, all right, you got my attention. A few stories in one. All right, let's take a look.
An elementary school teacher in Texas admits to making explicit videos inside the classroom.
Says she took them to send to her boyfriend at the time. She says she is now a victim of revenge porn. The woman, who wishes not to be identified, claims that he exposed her because she didn't want to stay in the relationship and was financially supporting him. Community activists still pushing to ensure she will never work in a school again.
Now we got a teacher in the classroom on school hours, stripping down butt naked, bending over, and showing everything on the video.
Was that baby Billy? What the fuck? Was that baby Billy IRL? Now we got a teacher in the classroom, bending over, spreading butt cheeks, showing hole, putting her digits inside her lady parts, flicking and teasing and cranking on her things that make me sweat. Lord have mercy. Spreading out the fucking chocolate starfish where your child finger paints. It's
in the classroom on school hours, stripping down butt naked, bending over, and showing everything on the video.
Well, the teacher maintains she's been suspended from her position at that private school while the investigation continues.
It's probably a good idea to keep an eye on your alligator if you run a petting zoo for kids. A 2-foot gator has
dude, the 1-2 punch.
Has been on the loose for a week in Kansas City. And to make matters worse, it escaped from a petting zoo at a middle school. Crews say there is a wooded area near the school and the gator is probably hiding there. Their main concern is actually that the gator's mouth is taped shut so it can't fend for itself. Well, and now something you probably didn't know the world needed.
Some of us maybe not quite so sure on this. In Hawaii, they are home to the world's first ever spam vending machine. Yes, it dispenses collector's cans of spam.
Okay, fucking based.
If you didn't know it, spam stands for
Who are these signed by?
Specially processed American meat. And to be serious, this is a cultural part of the island since World War II. The average Hawaiian eats 5 cans of spam per year. It's now in operation at a pawn shop in Honolulu.
The one and only Cheez-It jukebox is now up for sale. Last week, Cheez-It
Okay, what is happening at Fox News? Cheez-It jukebox?
decided to open up a limited time Cheez-In diner in New York. And now that the diner is closed, the brand is selling the jukebox that was in it. The unique music player doesn't accept coins, though. Of course, it only accepts Cheez-It crackers as a form of payment.
What?
A special guest is showing up all the way from Kosovo, where Malik's mom has been deployed as a member of the Georgia National Guard.
These are always special, and in the case of Malik Hurd, every bit so. He's crossing the stage at the University of West Georgia. You heard the PA announcer say, hey, your mom is here. She'd been deployed in Kosovo with the Guard since January, but she flew in for his special occasion.
Dude, that was an absolute roller coaster ride. North Korea flies 260 feces-filled balloons across the border to the south. Oh.
Hundreds of balloons. North Korea sent hundreds of balloons carrying trash and excrement to South Korea on Wednesday. Kim Yo-jong, the sister of North Korean leader, said the balloons were gifts of sincerity for South Koreans who, quote, cry for freedom of expression. South Korean military's Explosive Ordnance Unit and Chemical and Biological Warfare Response Team were deployed to inspect.
That is so petty.
Residents like
that is so petty.
Warning them to keep away and report any sightings to authorities.
It was so creepy and scary that the balloon might have fallen because North Korea might have had a specific target. Everyone was so scared at that moment. I wondered what would have happened to us if there was not just garbage, but viruses or chemicals.
More than 260 balloons have been detected as of Wednesday afternoon, and most of them have landed on the ground.
Just sending bags of shit.
Of staff.
This is
released by the South military.
Flaming bags of shit across the border.
To them and trash strewn around some collapsed balloons. Yonhap news agency said some contained animal feces.
Wow.
An official at Seoul's presidential office said the North might want to test the South's reaction, but vowed to respond calmly. Sending balloons to the North has been a tactic regularly used by South Korean activists. They are often led by defectors escaped from North Korea. North Korea has reacted angrily.
They send supplies back
To those balloons, which usually carry anti-Pyongyang leaflets, mini radios, food, and USB memory sticks with K-pop music videos and dramas.
USB memory sticks with K-pop. Dude, it would be so funny if this motherfucker gets overthrown because someone gets a thumb drive and they're like, what is this? Plug it in and it's just fucking Blackpink. How you like that? And they're like, oh, fuck this shit. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill the glorious leader. Have you ever seen these Blackpink women? I'm ready to risk it all. That's how I felt the first time I saw Blackpink. First time I saw Blackpink, I was at Coachella and I was ready to risk it all, bro. If you told me I had a shot at one of them if I overthrew a dictator, I would have considered it. Boonesboro high school senior denied chance to walk on graduation stage due to makeup concerns. Without even looking at this story, I'm going to parse through and you just guess who they're talking about. Is it these four? Maybe. What about this guy? Maybe he's got a little concealer on. Could be anyone there. It's like, where's Waldo? I'm trying to.
Yeah, wow, that's very cool.
Maybe it's one of them. I don't know. Maybe she's got some toner on. No, I don't know. Well, glasses. You shouldn't wear glasses during a graduation, right? It's got to be that guy. I don't know. Maybe this guy's got a little concealer on. Oh, she's definitely got some makeup on. It might be that blonde. Yeah, it's definitely got to be her, right? Wait a minute.
Oh yeah, wow, that's very cool.
I think we might have found who they're talking about. In full Babadook white face. You know what though? I am a believer that she should be able to walk in her makeup. Let her do her thing, goddammit. She ain't hurting nobody. Let her wear her full goth makeup. Why not? When I was a young boy, I don't know if I've told you guys this story. My father took me into the city to see a marching band. And he looked at me and he said, "Son, Will, when you grow up, would you be the savior of the broken, the beaten, and the damned?" He said, "Will you defeat them, your demons, and all the non-believers?" Mount Fuji anti-photo screen update. Okay, so this is an updated story. We talked about this before. There is a Lawson's in Japan with a view of Mount Fuji that so many people stopped at that Japan is building a screen so that they don't interrupt traffic. Let's take a look at the update.
A massive black screen that's been put up in a Japanese town to stop tourists taking photos of Mount Fuji now has holes in it, and they're just big enough to fit a camera lens through. Fuziko Aguchigos.
This is Japan coming up against American tourists for the first time.
Spent over $6,000 on an 8.2 feet high net to block one of the best views in the world.
It's so stupid.
Seems odd, but the town's had a major problem with tourists since a picture went viral a few years ago where it looks like Mount Fuji sits on the roof of a local convenience store. People have been flocking to recreate it, but locals have been complaining about them blocking paths, standing in the middle of dangerous busy roads, and crossing into their properties. So they put up this 20-meter long screen. But Japanese officials have already found 10 holes at eye level that are the perfect size.
And one at dick level that they're still struggling to explain.
To fit a camera lens through. So is the screen a good solution?
Oh God, we suck. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be real. No. In this instance, Japan sucks. I'm gonna keep it 100. You cannot put up a fucking shitty ass piece of black mesh to cover like one of the great national landmarks in the world and expect people to be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna not take a photo of this thing that I traveled across the world to take a photo of. That's crazy. That's nuts. That's so stupid. It's so Japanese too, that this fucking Lawson's gas station is driving huge amounts of tourism to this spot. And instead of capitalize on it like most places would, Japan's just like, no, we don't want this. We just won't take this. But there's like 5,000 places to view it from. It's not like the only spot you can see it. That's like telling people in Italy, hey, you know that picture of you leaning against the Leaning Tower of Pisa? We're actually going to build a giant screen in front of it, so you can't do that, but you can get photos of it other places. Come on, man. Just build a little observation deck. If you're going to spend $6,000 putting up a shitty fucking piece of cloth, just put a little observation deck off the sideway. Put a little fucking bus stop so people can take photos. Fuck tourists, frankly. No, come on, Jesus Christ. I hate that take too. I hate that take. Everybody should be a tourist at some point in their life. If you're not, you never left your home. In which case, you're probably fucking boring. Listen. Everybody has to be a tourist at some point in their life. It's about being a good and respectful tourist, right? There is a way of taking a picture of Mount Fuji on top of Lawson without blocking a bunch of traffic, getting in people's way, wandering into private property, or standing in the middle of the street. The problem is 90% of the people who probably take this photo are fine. It's the 10% who are like, hold on, I need to get a picture of me with my Coach bag walking through traffic in front of this mountain so I can get it on fucking my social media, and I have to take 600 of them. You know what I mean? Honestly, it's one of those things where I think everybody should be a tourist. Just be a nice tourist. Don't be a shitty one. Don't inconvenience people around you. The problem is Japanese culture is built so fucking intensely around respect that like they almost go the other direction, where the amount of respect they show to everyone is almost like toxic in like the way that you have to be constantly cognizant of everybody around you. And so like it's like the collision of those two, you know, ideals. Like I am the most important thing in the galaxy versus you should be so respectful at all times is just like